question remains, will the president accept the deal once it's on the table? At 12 o'clock, our Samantha-Jo is looking into how negotiations are going. Some big deadlines are approaching, right, Sam?
Well, Melissa, lawmakers really want to move quickly here, and that's because the Treasury Department is set to run out of money. It's set to reach its borrowing limit by early September, and that's really renewing urgency here on Capitol Hill for a deal before members leave town for that August recess. Now, the House is set to adjourn next week, the Senate 1 week after that, which is why House Speaker Nancy Pelosi is saying that she would like to see a deal reached by next week on Thursday to allow the Senate enough time to get the bill through. Now, that's not looking as optimistic after overnight the White House sent congressional leaders a list of priorities. They want to see $1.1 trillion in options to offset spending increases. Members are still evaluating that proposal, but Democrats already say there are some non-starters. Now, this comes after Pelosi's Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer have been meeting with Treasury Secretary Steve Mnuchin, both in person and speaking with him by phone for days. They've been talking about extending the debt ceiling, that's the government's borrowing cap, for 2 years or more, and setting new levels for agency budgets. And they need the president's support to do that. His support could sway some Republicans who may be reluctant to do that. And one of the concerns here on Capitol Hill is whether or not the president will get on board if that deal doesn't mirror his priorities. The president nearly killed the last budget agreement last December, which ultimately led to a 35-day shutdown.
The last shutdown was terrible for our first responders, for those working in airports, for the American people in general. It would be an avoidable travesty for President Trump to try to push us back into a shutdown when we right now are working in a bipartisan fashion.
Now, administration officials have already been warning that optimistic statements from lawmakers working directly with Mnuchin doesn't necessarily mean that the president is going to be willing to sign off on any kind of deal that they form. And that point really came across loud and clear after the White House sent that new list of priorities after all those meetings this week. We're live on Capitol Hill. Samantha-Jo, Spectrum, BN9.